Aniya and Carl give an update today after y'all tried to cancel Carl on the Twitters, and Casey and TT have found new fans that drag Aniya and Trinity every day. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we're talking Love Island USA Season 8 Postseason. And there's a lot of stuff we got to get into this video with this cast. Corbin, like I had mentioned, I think I had mentioned this, was on a live stream with Jay Cinco. And they also streamed on DDG's 24-hour yacht ride in which he brought Parmita, and ultimately there was drama because he called Parmita a cougar and she was not feeling that, and she also said that she sees a bunch of comments about Melanie and Corbin and all of the things. Also, Corbin was asked would he do Love Island again. He said no. They were trying to ask him questions if there was any type of sexual activity. We obviously know the answer. Corbin was trying to play coy and all this and all that. And I guess the spirit of Casey and Tate coming out with a couple's YouTube, has inspired Corbin to come out with a solo YouTube, you guys. Because what has happened is he has been doing on his Instagrammies, here's a Q&A, ask me some things that you guys are interested in knowing about me, all the things, right? Then all of a sudden, he decides to post, I seriously can't thank y'all enough for the support. Let's take this to YouTube. If we hit 1,500 subscribers, I will drop my first video answering your questions. Put your questions below and tap the link to subscribe to my YouTube. So I feel like this is inspired by Casey and everything else. But the difference is, if Casey and TT ever break up, they will have to figure out how they're going to split the proceeds of the channel. Whereas with Corbin, he will get all the proceeds because this is a solo channel. This is a solo endeavor, you guys. It appears that Casey and TT have now joined in the comments on the Tickety Talk lives that are specifically known by creators that are bashing Trinity and Aniya. So they're going to ride out this whole victim thing until the wheels fall off, right? They're just going to ride it out till the wheels fall off. I believe Casey left a comment or something like that along the lines of, hey, you guys are getting me through this. So basically finding other black women that are bashing other black women in Trinity and Aniya is giving Casey and TT comfort, and y'all keep coming for me thinking that I've got the problem. No. Then Soul, I don't know what's going on with her. She keeps trying to try out these different wigs. I thought she was happy and confident and cute with her little pixie cut, but apparently that's not the case. But now she's trying to try out all these different blonde wigs. But what's even worse than the wigs is the 80s inspired makeup. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, we've really traveled back to the 80s with Soul and this makeup, and I am just of confusion as far as what is the end goal, what is the end game, and all of the things. But I just want her to wrap this up pronto. There is a rumor that the Season 8 reunion is going to be filmed on August 10th in Los Angeles, which would be different from where it was filmed the past couple of seasons, which was in New York. And there's rumors that it might be in front of a live studio audience, and I am of confusion as to why Peacock wants to have a live studio audience, considering how unhinged these fans are. If it's going to be a lot of booing, if it's going to be a lot of mess, if it's going to be a lot of craziness, I don't want this to be like a baddies type of reunion or that type of energy. Like, I don't feel that it's necessary. We don't have a studio audience for any of the Bravo shows like Real Housewives of Atlanta, any of the Housewives shows, any of Below Deck, any of summer house. Like, there's never been a studio audience. I don't think this is a good idea. I don't know if y'all are trying to be like Love is Blind or things like that, but it's unnecessary. Like, there's some things that y'all don't need to enhance, and with how out of control these fans are, especially some of these fans, you know, those same fans that Casey and TT are supporting, that said that they were going to be packing up Trinity and Aniya at the reunion. Not a good idea to have these fans show up that's going to think that it's on like Donkey Kong to try to attack these Islanders. No bueno. No bueno at all. Then there is a rumor, you guys, as well, that the Core 4 and their men have decided to band together and not do any postseason interviews, not do certain major media outlets and all of this and all of that to protect their mental health. I don't know if that's true or not, because remember, Nick Viall for the Viall Files basically said that he was supposed to have an interview with Zack Attack, and also had mentioned that Peacock was pulling back on press credentials for several of the Islanders, and that they were doing things different this year. And then a Black creator came out who does a lot of these types of postseason interviews, basically said that he was told that they were going with a different strategy this year with the interviews, and pretty much a lot of the Black content creators were shut down from doing postseason interviews. So I don't know if that's true. It would be nice if the Core 4 did band together and say, listen, look at here, there's way too much hate out here. We don't want to give them anything in these interviews for them to use against us. That could be a possibility. It seems, though, that there's still a demand for these Islanders, to the point that y'all are making up conspiracy theories and hit pieces and trying to cancel people, and there's been nothing going on from these Islanders to warrant any of that. So also, I believe I talked about this in another video, but Kenzie and Dylan are officially boyfriend and girlfriend, and he apparently asked her at the Empire State Building to be his girlfriend, and she, of course, accepted. And then she was at different places in New York, in Soho, and other places where she was doing a split. And she was sitting there in the split position, and people were feeding her food and drink and all this other stuff. And if that was a Black woman that did any of that, she would be canceled. She absolutely would be canceled for doing any of the sort, right? So that has happened on that, right? So we confirmed and we talked about the fact that Trinity and Bryce and Aniya and Carl are going to be on Watch What Happens Live on Wednesday. So hopefully within the next day or two, they should be flying out to New York, right? No problem there, right? So what has happened, though, unfortunately, is there is still a massive hate train against Aniya and now Carl. Now they are pissed at Carl, y'all. I did a video yesterday about how Carl is not no Kenny, because that was some of the angles that people were trying to attempt to justify their dislike of Carl when he is not in any capacity moved like Kenny, right? However, Neil, I guess today's RICO charge or attempt to cancel Carl was that back on July 14th, you know, back when the Islanders finally got their phones back when Carl was liking anything related to Carl and Aniya and Carnaya content, that he had liked somebody's post, and it was like a joke that they were going to get on a flight to Denver and they were going to go see Carl if him and Aniya don't work out, and he liked the post or whatever. And then that same creator, there was another post that person did in which Aniya liked their post. And then there was a different male creator who made a post basically saying that he was going to go to Fiji for Aniya and that Casey didn't deserve her and he was going to treat her better than Casey. And Carl was in the comments like, that's my girl. You know what I'm saying? So I'm of confusion at this point because there has been no press. There has been no interviews that Carl nor Aniya has done. And you guys are going back into the archives of either Tickety Talks or Instagrammy post or commentary or reels that Carl has liked and or commented on in hopes that it's going to get him canceled. And so there's been so much unnecessary hate against Carl and Aniya today on the Twitter line. And this is coming conveniently after Nicolas confirms his breakup with Alandria. It's like you guys cannot accept that Trinity and Bryce like each other. Y'all cannot accept that Aniya and Carl like each other. And here's the thing with Aniya and Carl, I can't stress enough. Y'all shouldn't be comparing them to anybody. They've had the least amount of time outside of the villa. Everybody went home to their families, right? Typically, those of you who are familiar with what it means to be in a long-distance relationship, typically you don't see each other all the time unless you live close by. Typically, you try to work out an every 2-week schedule and every 3-week schedule to see each other. It has only been a couple of weeks since the show has ended and everybody's gotten back home, right? So we do not know unless Aniya and Carl tell us that they potentially met up somewhere in secret, right? And that could be something potentially for a big reveal. Or this New York trip could be, you know what I'm saying, them reuniting for the first time and then being on Watch What Happens Live on Wednesday and then potentially ultimately either Thursday or Friday also be on Jimmy Fallon, also do other press that is with the New York media publications that are going to be approved via Peacock. But I'm going to need y'all to chill. I am going to need y'all to chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are putting so much on this couple, and they're not even as advanced as the other couples. They're not exclusive. They're not boyfriend and girlfriend. They haven't told each other that they love them compared to these other couples. So why are you having Aniya and Carl on this microscope other than you are hoping for Aniya to get hurt and humiliated and played by Carl? You want Carl to dog Aniya out so bad, and we got to get to the root of the issue. Is it because you just do not want to see an interracial couple thrive? Or are you still trying to avenge Casey? Or are you doing this to deflect from one of your couples that is not giving you content? And you wonder why these Islanders are not doing live streams, are not posting that much, and are not doing interviews because y'all are doing too much on the internet. Y'all don't know how to sit still. This cast deserved to be here like season 2, season 3, when the fandom was not out of control like this. Because there was creeps of the fandom getting out of control season 5. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't popular. Like, it wasn't popping till season 6. But I need y'all to stop. Just leave it alone. Leave Aniya and Carl alone. Dissecting a like, dissecting a comment from a supporter's video, it is not the smoking gun that you think it is. And then I have an update, you guys, as I am recording this video. So an update both from Aniya and Carl. So Aniya did a tickety talk in which she posted a message to her followers, right? And she looks absolutely gorgeous. She looks everything. So it says the following: Miss Harvey clocking in. I want to express how grateful I am for all of the support. I want to truly acknowledge every single one of you guys for being by my side, and I'm blessed to have a community that's so passionate and supportive of me. This love is something I truly cherish. Hashtag Aniya, hashtag Aniya's Angels. So she is going with the official ship name of her fandom name, Aniya's Angels, even though I still like the Annihilators. But Aniya's Angels is the official name. Well, Carl got into the comments and said this. Carl got into the comments and said, booked my flight, period. However, I believe people are taking this out of context and are like, oh, it had to take her to post for him to, leave this comment. And here's the thing, you guys. Here's the thing. If you were being booked on Watch What Happens Live, if you were being booked on Jimmy Kimmel, you know what I'm saying, or Jimmy Fallon, or the Today Show, or any of these shows that specifically flying you out here, you know what I'm saying, specifically flying you out to New York, flying you out to LA, guess who's booking your flight? Not you. Guess who's booking the flight? The company. You know what I'm saying? Or however it's going to work between Peacock and NBC Universal, or whatever the case may be, through your reps, through your agency, all of this and all of that. And they're going to set it all up. And then they're going to be set up. Now that we know that Aniya, Trinity, and Bryce are all signed to agencies, I don't know whether or not Carl is going to be signed to an agency. If he is, I hope that announcement comes out before the Watch What Happens live appearance. But ultimately, we will just have to find that out, right? But what will happen is they set you all up with designers, with hairstylists, makeup artists, the whole nine. There's a whole thing in place. So I think Carl was just saying that, listen, like here, basically to let you know that we're about to be reunited soon. We're about to see each other soon. So y'all can chill. Y'all can chill out, right? But please, you know what I'm saying? Let these two be. Let these two figure it out for themselves. And let's enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Let's enjoy whatever comes of Aniya and Carl. But most importantly, continue to always support, you know what I'm saying? Aniya, Trinity, all these people, the core four, everything. Because there's no guarantee in any of these relationships. But ultimately, that's why I always stress it is about the women on these shows. It is about them thriving. Do not get parasocial about these connections, about these relationships. Either they will work out or they will not, you guys. But I need y'all to get it together. Let Aniya and Carl tell you themselves what they're going to do with their, couple. If they're going to be together, if they're going to pursue a relationship, or if they're not. But y'all are trying so hard to just put out negative things about these people. And y'all completely disregarded why Trinity put out the statement that she did for Zach Attack, right? Even though I disagreed, I appreciated the fact that the core four and their men are standing 10 toes down for each other and are making decisions to protect their mental health, which is why none of them are on Twitter, I believe, except for Sincere. Because y'all are doing too much, starting all these unnecessary hate trains. It gets to a point. Y'all are bored in these group chats. You are bored that these Islanders are not clout chasers and are not performative and are not Sims characters and are not doing what you want them to do. But that doesn't mean you need to flat out lie and make up false narratives on people. I can tell by how some of y'all are moving, y'all never been in a long distance anything before. Some of y'all are acting and moving like y'all have never been in a relationship before. Leave Aniya and Carl alone. Leave all these Islanders alone. It's that simple. It gets to a point, you guys. So that is it, you guys, for this video. I need y'all to do me the biggest favor, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. There is that. That is it. That is all. It's todos es final. Es finito. It's the end of the road. It's the end of the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.